Aloha and welcome. My name is Taylor Norris, and I am an astrologer and Reiki master teacher. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you about the Virgo new moon, which is occurring on August 22nd at 8:06 p.m. Hawaii time. So you'll want to adjust that to your time zone. We will look at a few of the medical astrology tips for a Virgo moon. So very practical. We will look at the astrology of the Virgo new moon, the galactic alignments of the Virgo new moon, of which there are many, many beautiful ones to tune into. And then we'll also look at the Sabian symbol for the Virgo new moon. And before I dive into all of that information, I would love to invite you to the upcoming Virgo New Moon Distant Reiki Share. It will be on August 22nd at 8 a.m. Hawaii time, and the link to join for free will be below this video. So in the Virgo New Moon Distant Reiki Share, I will share about the astrology for the moon cycle ahead, which will be an eclipse season actually. So we have the Virgo new moon, and then we have the next full moon will actually be a full moon total lunar eclipse in Pisces. So I'll share more about the overall astrology for the moon cycle, doing my best to be concise, and also share a channeled Reiki journey to allow you to set some intentions, have some space for some automatic writing, or simply be receiving the Reiki energy. And in the Reiki journey, we will also have opportunities to connect in with the galactic beings and the stars that I will be sharing about for this Virgo new moon. And some of those are the Pleiadians and the beings of Royal Star Regulus, Archangel Raphael, Achernar star, and Eridanus is very highlighted. And there are some others in there, Andromeda Galaxy through Chiron. Lots and lots to tune into. So without further ado, I would love to share about the Virgo moon in medical astrology. And so the Virgo moon is a very sensitive moon. Virgo in the body rules the small intestine. It also rules the pancreas, liver, spleen, immune system, smell sensitivity, the fingers, the abdomen, and solar plexus. These are all included in the Virgo body zone. This is coming from the work of the wonderful medical astrologer Judith Hill. Virgo moon has a drying influence in the body. Thinking about Virgo, it's an earth sign. It's mutable earth. So it's earth in motion. It's earth that is shifting, that is changing, that is adapting. So this is a wonderful moon for fasting, for cleansing, for eating more lightly, maybe drinking more juices and lemon waters and smoothies and having salads and whatever for you resonates as a more light, cleansing, detoxifying type of food. The Ayurvedic khichdi is a food that's coming to mind if you resonate with that. Maybe a good day to go plant-based or to do some intermittent fasting, something like that. Again, if that aligns with you and where you're at. The Virgo moon can sensitize the digestive organs, the intestine, liver, pancreas, gallbladder. It's drying. It's good for fasting. And let's say you're not going to fast or cleanse or anything like that. At the very least, it's a good idea to avoid fried foods, alcohol, and chemical medicines. Virgo moon quickens the nerves and blood sugar reaction, so being mindful of that. I eat a lot of fruit, but I always pair my fruit with greens for a greater blood sugar balance, for example. Avoid surgery to the liver, spleen, and digestive organs unless you have absolutely no choice. It's an excellent moon for nourishing and gentle healing of those same regions in the Virgo body zone. The Earth moons, including Virgo, are traditionally avoided for the onset of a course of medication. This one is good to be mindful if you are diabetic, to pay attention, to take good care of yourself. And the Virgo moon can also increase wakefulness and insomnia. So good to have that chamomile tea, the herbal tea in the fridge or in your steeping situation, whatever your tea situation is, if you like those more relaxing herbal teas in the evening. I know right now I have in my fridge some dream tea that is steeping so that if I should have a night of insomnia, I can always go to my fridge and drink some dream tea to help me sleep better. So I hope that is helpful and practical guidance. Virgo moon is a sign, Virgo zodiac sign is a sign of physical and practical healing. It's a sign of gardening. It's a sign of really organizing, decluttering. It's a great moon for, as it's the new moon, it's a time of new beginnings, yes. And as I said, we're preparing for that total lunar eclipse in Pisces that's occurring on September 7th. So you can even think of this moon as an opportunity to clear out, to gently cleanse, purify, make some space, as the full moon total lunar eclipse in Pisces will also be a bit about making space, cleansing, detoxifying, and really connecting in with spirit. This really feels like it's going to be a deep and powerful and very healing Virgo new moon, then Pisces lunar eclipse, then we get a Virgo new moon and solar eclipse. So we have a lot of Virgo energy coming in, and it's great for analysis, for being practical, step by step, organizing, decluttering, making space, creating effective systems and structures. It's very analytical. Virgo is a sign of lots of skill development. It's connected to the earth, and it's a very humble zodiac sign. So often I find with people with a lot of Virgo energy are highly skilled individuals and also very humble in relation to those skills. Those skills may be so innate and natural, and the Virgo individual so focused on service, they may not recognize how very gifted and talented they are, because there can be a tendency towards perfectionism, overthinking, worrying, anxiety, and those sorts of things, undervaluing self. So at this new moon, it really is a good time to kind of let go of some of that perfectionism, some of that overthinking, being too much in your head, too much in your intellect, too much in your left brain, and really finding that balance with Pisces that is dissolving into infinite bliss and trusting in the intelligence of the body, the intelligence of the universe, and trusting that you have everything that you need inside of you. So I'm going to share the chart I made now, the slide I made with the chart. Virgo new moon, as I said, is occurring Friday, August 22nd at 8:06 p.m. Hawaii time. Adjust to your time zone. And on that day, we will have the distant Reiki share. And I would love for you to come to that. You don't need any Reiki or astrology experience to be present. It's really chill. It's really low key. If you need to come late, leave early, you're very welcome there. But the intention with those is to provide a community space and to align with the higher frequencies of the new moon and the moon cycle ahead. So in the chart of the new moon, you see that the sun and moon are together, they're conjunct. That is what makes a moon new. And they are together at the very beginning of Virgo. So 0 degrees Virgo, 23 minutes. We're really getting that pure essence of the Virgo energy. And if there's a question within you about, well, what is that Virgo energy? Like, what does that feel like? What does that mean? This new moon feels like a beautiful time. We could really tap into it. As it is a new moon, a good time of new beginnings, this is great for implementing practical healing and health habits, dialing in your diet, dialing in your nutrition, dialing in your routines, dialing in your garden, dialing in your efficiency, systems of efficiency. As I said, decluttering, organizing, maybe choosing a drawer or a cabinet that you're going to clean. Any type of cleaning would be great. Be really, really great, making things more orderly and pleasing, but at the same time, not getting too carried away with it, being relaxed and not obsessive about it. Another thing to mention here is to enlist help in those projects, in those tasks that maybe are big and overwhelming. I've had that come in for me recently, feeling very overwhelmed with different cleaning and projects that I wanted to have done. And so, really receiving that help, that support, and that assistance on some of those more challenging and overwhelming bigger tasks that maybe you can't do alone, or you need to call in some extra help and support. Virgo can tend to like maybe not want to ask for help. And so we all have different signatures of maybe not wanting to ask for help. And so Virgo in its shadow expression can be the martyr, can be like, self-sacrificing and wanting to do everything for oneself. And so this really is an invitation. If you need help, ask for that help because it's available. It's there for you. And so, looking at the ruler, the planetary guide of Virgo zodiac sign, that's Mercury, who has recently stationed direct, will be moving direct, 12 degrees Leo, 33 minutes. And so, this is an invitation to follow your joy, your creativity, to remember to anchor in that spirit of childlike wonder and awe, not take things so seriously, and to have that attitude with any of those projects, the dialing in, the perfecting, the ordering, the analysis, and the next steps that Virgo is going to have us attending to, some of that work, some of that practical service that Virgo will have us attending to do so with a spirit of childlike wonder and joy and creativity at the same time. So there are some very powerful aspects that the new moon is making. The principal one is that the time of the new moon, the sun and moon will be applying an exact square to Uranus and Sedna. So at the time of the new moon, it's still actually building. It will not be absolutely perfect because you can see Uranus at 1 degree 22 minutes, Sedna at 1 degree 50 minutes. So there is tension within that first quarter square, and there is tension in that the energy will not yet be released or reconciled because it's still building that exact square. And so, with that being said, Uranus, of course, is bringing in the unexpected, the new, the future, technology, connection, as well, being in Gemini, social experiences, opportunities for connection, galactic contact. Earth changes, certainly very possible, highlighted, and being open here to delightful surprises. Of course, this is one of my favorite channelings for what Uranus and Gemini could bring in, delightful surprises, and being open to the new, being open to change, being open to transformation, being open to energy upgrades, being open and being able to be stable and rooted and grounded enough to allow in those higher downloads that Uranus and Gemini is wanting. But this is a wonderful opportunity to be with soul family, to be in connection with your family, a frequency, to be open to your spirit guides, to be open to messages and guidance, and certainly the galactic here. As the galactic energies of the new moon include Regulus Star, Royal Star, the heart of the lion in Leo Constellation, as well as Uranus and Sedna, both lining up with the Pleiades stars. And so And you can see in this list, there are so many beautiful star families available: Achernar and Eridanus, Procyon and Canis Major. Sirius A through Jupiter is still being very highlighted. The stars of Pegasus through Saturn and Neptune, Skiot star principally. Of course, Uranus bringing in the Pleiades, Pluto bringing in Altair, and Chiron with Andromeda Galaxy. So, abundant star family, you take your pick. And this was really coming through the other day in a Reiki journey. I was feeling the galactic angels and the really, really high frequency, sublime, exquisite, sparkling luminescence of Eridanus and Achernar. And I was like, gosh, like this is really coming in so strong. And then pulling up this chart and seeing, wow, okay, the North Node is really dialing in closer and closer to exact conjunct alignment with that Achernar star and Eridanus. Eridanus is the starry river of life. So we are being supported in that sense of gentle releasing. We are being supported with tapping into peace, tapping into trust, tapping into grace, tapping into love and compassion. And the realms of Eridanus and Achernar, just very beautiful, high frequency galactic angelic beings, perfect harmony with nature, the most beautiful architecture, the most beautiful lands, the most beautiful waters, and we can really feel nourished and supported by those waters, the gentle cleansing, the purification. And another signature of Achernar in a more mundane type of astrology coming from the work of Bernadette Brady is that this star can be associated with earth changes. And as the North Node is aligning to it, we may see additional earth changes being highlighted at this time. Again, as we are all in the process, earth and humanity, of ascending, of really becoming our next level of creative expression, peace, harmony, love, all of these higher frequencies that so many of us came here to support and be a part of and empower in our unique ways. So the new moon with Regulus, as I said, this is royal star Regulus, one of the four royal stars in the heart of the lion, Leo. So, of course, bringing in that heart energy, listening to the wisdom of your heart, listening to the yearnings and the whispers of your heart, and allowing that heart wisdom, that heart brain to really be there and be activated. And in square to Uranus and Gemini, it's like our mind brain, our physical brain coming into that coherence with the heart brain, and Virgo, the gut brain as well. And we still have Jupiter and Venus both in Cancer, the sign associated with the stomach. So we are having this chance to align gut brain, heart brain, mind and physical brain as well, coming into that alignment for that deep, deep intelligence, that deep soul directive that knows that new beginning that we are maybe in the very early stages of, on the precipice of. It's not yet clearly defined. Maybe the whole vision is not yet in this new beginning that's really coming through Saturn and Neptune at the very early degrees of Aries that are building up to that conjunction next year in February. And so this new moon is really offering a lot of whispers about those new beginnings and coming into coherence and alignment and unification within ourselves. Uranus with the Pleiades, this is bringing in the Pleiadian energy very strong. This is downloads, this is connection, this is like, let's meet our people, let's connect, let's talk, let's have conversations, let's talk about star seeds and galactic beings, let's talk about Reiki and energy healing and new information and downloads and insights and whatever you're passionate about, like talking about it, discussing, sharing, exchanging ideas and experiences, and this is a more, because it's part of this grand sextile, this triangle where Uranus, Sedna are trine Pluto, and Saturn, Neptune at the midpoint there, sextiling both Pluto and Uranus, Sedna, this harmonious flow of energy with the sextiles and the trines that we will be working with effectively for the next few years. It's really, really exciting. So it's more social, it's more extroverted, it's more yang, it's more let's get together and talk and do things. And I really do feel like this is pulling a lot of people out of the spiritual closet. This is pulling a lot of people, even, I mean, myself, resonating like somebody who's very introverted, very connected to my own inner world, my own inner mysteries, and wanting and being ready for more connection and more gathering and more communion with human soul family members, and having those exchanges and, welcoming in those possibilities in your own life if you do feel more alienated, isolated, misunderstood, like an outsider. That I feel like a big one of the ways we can embrace this Uranus and Gemini energy, especially when it's being highlighted so strongly with the square, is to say yes to opportunities, to share information, to be in conversation, to be meeting new people, to be interacting and socializing and putting oneself out there to have those meaningful exchanges with others. And like this happened for me the other day. Like, I didn't even have to go anywhere or do anything, but the way synchronicities lined up, I met a new friend who was interested in Reiki, had just taken Reiki classes. And so it's like just having that openness can then bring in those right connections and conversations and new contacts and the networking. I feel like we're being really facilitated in a natural and organic networking. So this Virgo new moon is like setting yourself up to create the space in your life so that those new connections, possibilities, ideas, networks, communities will have space to land. You'll have space in your mind, space in your psyche, space in your body for channeling the new energy. And this is really wonderful too for people who have had, ascension symptoms and things like that. What can you dial in and like set up in your day-to-day life so that there's smoother harmonic flow, that as the energy keeps upgrading, as we become more and more, open and ready and aware and receptive to these accelerated evolution, all the different light codes and star beings and spiritual upgrades that are possible at this time, having a really strong foundation in the body, being grounded to be able to receive and integrate all of that. So really, really lovely time to be grounding, really lovely time to have, as I said, your dream tea ready, your bedtime tea ready, to be listening to your dreams with Saturn, Neptune highlighting, early Aries, the star Skiat, where this is such a super psychic star. It's like mind blowing how psychic Skiat star is. That unicorn energy, very, very present. The horse energy, very, very present here. The Syrian still very present and accessible for us. So we really do have all of these different streams of star family present. And so to be in that openness to remembering and activating and also taking care of the practicalities that support those higher experiences of connection. What's also notable here, I have drawn in, this is dwarf planet Orcus, one of the brothers of Pluto, beyond the orbit of Pluto. It's an additional dwarf planet. It has a story in Roman or Etruscan mythology that this was a god, this was a divine being who was the contract and oath minder. He was somebody who was keeping track of contracts and oaths, vows, and agreements, holding people to them, punishing them should they transgress. And at a higher level of expression, Orcus is a very shamanic planet. It can go to the underworld, it can travel into the other realms, and it's also very supportive of dissolving those soul contracts, oaths, vows, curses, spells, etc., that we may have taken in this lifetime, other lifetimes, on Earth, off Earth, other planets, and to dissolve those, to release those, to let go of those. And so the South Node will be increasingly applying a conjunction to Orcus as time moves on. And so this is wonderfully supportive of dissolving and releasing oaths, vows, curses, spells, contracts, agreements, and so on, that we may be just like any of those that no longer serve your highest good, allowing those to lift into the light of Reiki or whatever type of healing modality may resonate with you. This could also be a very powerful activation of innate and latent shamanic gifts and talents, and greater interest to explore more shamanic gifts and talents, shamanic journeying, Reiki journeying, developing one's intuition. And this may be an interest, a passion, a latent ability that's actually bubbling up from other lifetimes, again, on Earth, off Earth. This is also dropping in that this could be a big, powerful release of traumas and dramas and persecution and different storylines and experiences having to do with being a witch or being a spiritual leader or healer on the earth, and having had a really terrible time or experience of being misunderstood, being mislabeled, mistreated, persecuted, suppressed, disenfranchised in some way. And so to be letting go of those wounds so that you're able to letting go of those wounds and healing those wounds all the way back to their original cause, so that those gifts and that mastery can be revealed within you now and put into good use and put into greater integration and harmony, and knowing that it is a safe time to develop those skills once again, renew, refresh those skills, and be more revealed and aware of those skills and gifts and talents, and sharing those if you so choose. So that is some of what is coming in here through the star alignments. And as I said, in the Reiki journey at the new moon distant Reiki share, we will be working probably most likely with Regulus, possibly Achernar, possibly Sirius, possibly Pleiades. We'll see. There are just so many good ones to choose from. The Sabian symbol for 0 degrees or 1 degree Virgo. This is coming from Astrological Mandala by Dane Rudger. Virgo 1. In a portrait, the significant features of a man's head are artistically emphasized. Keynote: the capacity to picture oneself clearly, the salient features, and the overall meaning of any life situation. During the 2 preceding scenes, the feel of energy at work has been the dominant feature of a consciousness still strongly ego-centered, yet at times eagerly and devotionally reaching up to a realization of divine or cosmic order. Now we have come in the seasonal cycle of the year to the sign Virgo. It is, in a sense, the symbol of harvesting, but it is also that of the path of discipleship and of all strongly determined processes of training or retraining. Flooded with and having enjoyed the released energy, the personalized consciousness now has to learn the lesson of significant form. It must be able to see life situations as wholes of experience, and to discover their meaning by distinguishing their most characteristic features. This is the first stage of the 31st fivefold sequence of symbols, and its key word is discrimination. Implied in discrimination is both analysis and intuition. The mind separates and identifies, and unfortunately, often exaggerates what makes a person or a situation different from another. But the intuitive responses of the whole person to what confronts him or her is also essential. For what matters is not only my or your difference, but the place and function this difference occupies in the organic pattern of the evolution of humanity as a whole, i.e., of man. So discrimination as the keyword is just, that is pure Virgo. Discrimination, discernment, and what a helpful frequency to be tuning into as there is so much information available. There's so much noise. There's so much distraction. There can be a lot of energy leaks. So pulling your energy back in, concentrating your energy back in yourself, discriminating between or discerning between what is for you, what's not for you, what's resonating as truth, what's not, what is an energy leak, what is actually a great use of your energy. And this also is making me think of one of Virgo's gifts and talents also can be prioritizing. You know, if you have the to-do lists and the everything that needs to get done, actually prioritizing and scheduling, you know, what are you going to do and when, and trusting that that next right step will reveal itself to you. But at the same time, with two Virgo new moons, so this new moon, the Pisces lunar eclipse, the Virgo solar eclipse, and the fact that this new moon is square Uranus, having that discernment and knowing what's a distraction and what's not, and withdrawing your attention and focus from what's a distraction can be really, really helpful to help you focus on your priorities, the best use of your energy. Doing so from a place of discipleship, from devotion. Again, remembering Mercury and Leo, what lights you up, Venus and Jupiter and Cancer, you know, really listening to your gut instincts, the depths of the wisdom and the genius of your inner child. What is the most mothering and nurturing and lovely path for you? What is actually grounded, what is practical, and really inviting in a sense of the sacred and devotion to all of those different tasks and all of that which you offer in terms of service too. This can be a very healing time of that unification within oneself and also a unification between matter and spirit, Virgo, the realm of practicalities and tasks and left brain, and Pisces, the realm of creativity and spirit and the right brain and the whole brain and so far beyond the brain, the collective unconscious, coming into unification, coming into the sacred, the sense of sacred, infusing and resonating through everything in your awareness and your experience. And even Virgo, to the body temple, seeing the body as the temple, seeing yourself as a temple for the sacred, and just letting go of anything that's not in alignment with the power and the wisdom of your sacred heart, the power and the wisdom of your gut instincts, those human instincts that resonate as truth, and the wisdom and the power of your brain. Just really, what is your truth? What are you being led to tune into? What is your next right step? And trusting yourself as you take your next right steps in the direction of your growth and our collective growth and evolution here. But to withdraw energy from anything that's not in alignment with that, because you don't have time for that, don't have energy for that, it's a waste. And Virgo really is interested in prioritizing and doing a really, really wonderful job. And so to keep your standards high and to let go of anything that is not matching those standards, and to do so from a space of heart-centered love and joy. And something else is coming in to just be gentle and easy on yourself. Be gentle and easy with others in your relationships. Be accepting of anything that is not quote unquote perfect, and allow and accept the state of being perfectly imperfect, and kind of like perfection and excellence in motion, in evolution. So wanted to just share that as well. So I hope you found this video helpful. I hope you will attend the Virgo New Moon Distant Reiki Share, and the link for that will be below this video. Also in September, I'm teaching the Venusian Ascension Mysteries, Galactic Astrology, and Reiki Journey class series. It's a 3-class series in September, October, November, and registration closes September 18th. So if you're interested in learning more about that and being a part of that sacred circle of soul family, then definitely there will be a link below this video. And there's also a separate video I made that's going into kind of what is going to be included in that class, knowing that the curriculum and the information may evolve beyond that as well, but it will be a chance to really tune into that, the sacred in the everyday, to tune into the divine feminine and be held and supported, to be healed and empowered, and intuition activated within all of the Venusian topics, of which money, relationships, love, connection, fulfillment, beauty, balance, wisdom, divine feminine are all some of those Venus topics. So I hope you'll check out that class and maybe be a part of our sacred circle. Thank you so much for being here. I wish you a most beautiful and blessed, abundant Virgo new moon. Aho, amen, namaste, and so it is. Mahalo.